Here's everything Apple announced at WWDC25. Right now, we no longer have an iOS 19. Everything across the board is going to be 26. So iOS 26, macOS 26, iPadOS 26, watchOS 26, and visionOS 26. So now it's going to follow the years. Apparently, this is for next year, even though these software updates will come out in September of 25. This is what Apple's going to be naming them. Now, as far as updates go, this is primarily all software. So we're going to start off with iOS. Now, I will not get the beta version to this to show you guys until July, so I'm going to show you exactly what Apple has in here. This is the preview for iOS 26, and basically it's going to be a better design, so you can have a better design feature for it. New elements added, so it's going to be more like clear icons. They call it liquid glass for this thing. You're going to have more features added in here for Apple Intelligence. And then, of course, they show you better menus for it. More of the details in here. Maps, understand preferred routes, visited places, auto mix for lyrics. And a lot more in here. You're going to have upgraded reminders with Apple Intelligent. Reminders can suggest tasks, groceries, photos will be updated. AirPods, camera, remote control. CarPlay is going to get new features added to it. The journal is going to get new. You're going to have multiple journals in there. The clocks. And then they give you your compatible devices. That is going to be iOS. Now, iPadOS 26 is going to follow the exact similar things to your iOS, but the difference is they're going to make it more Mac-like. So in other words, besides all the features that are very similar here to iOS 26, this is where you're going to get the Mac stuff. It's right here in the multitasking. So you're going to get features that you've normally had on your MacBook on your iPads finally. And this is definitely going to be something that is going to be an improvement. The Files app gets an extreme update. Lots of the exact same features that you normally have on your MacBook. This is definitely what we've been waiting for the iPad, for sure. And this is going to be coming to iPadOS 26. Now, the watch updates. These are primarily going to include a lot of Apple Intelligence. They're going to include a lot of the same features that you're going to get with the liquid glass. So a lot of this features here is going to improve the watch, which is good to know for the Ultra 3 and possibly the new Apple Watch. We'll see what comes out in September for the Apple Watch. Not quite sure what update's going to be out available for, but we'll see. macOS is going to be called Tahoe now, and you're going to get a lot of integration with the iOS designs, the iPadOS designs. A lot of that's going to be very similar. Now, what's going to distinguish between the macOS and the iPadOS, that's going to be a difficult thing to figure out because they didn't really explain it. A lot of stuff that they're giving is very similar to both. That's what you're going to be getting on the Mac. Now, visionOS, for those who own the Vision Pro, is going to be a lot more little features in there. And like I said, the aesthetics are going to be all around the same per device, per system. Everything's going to look the same across devices. And I guess that's what they want to do with the unifying of the model number of the 26. That's kind of what they're doing. So you're going to get a lot of new features with the visionOS as well. That basically is your overview of everything that is coming through with the OS. That is what Apple's going to be releasing in the fall. So you can expect iOS 26, iPadOS 26, macOS 26, watchOS 26, visionOS 26, and tvOS 26. Now, tvOS, they didn't explain too much, so I don't really have much to preview on that, but once I do, I'll let you guys know about what's going on with this. So the developer beta is out available now for developers, or if you want to risk a device to do it on. The public beta version will come out in July sometimes, and when that does come out, I'll go ahead and give you guys a preview of it, and you can expect to get this released sometime in September of 2025. Got any questions on that? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed or liked the video, go ahead and do that. And go ahead and share it to anyone that wants to know more about iOS 26 and what's new from WWDC. All right, I will keep you informed as more stuff comes out and when I get the beta in July. Thank you very much for watching.